this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Alright, well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? Alright, back to the old greasy grind. Should I wear socks? I decided that I'm not going to show my feet like every log, just because it turns out that some people actually don't like it, which is really weird. I thought that everybody wanted to see that. Let me put some socks on. There, I hope you guys are happy. It's also really cold out right now, so I don't mind. But when the summer comes around, I ain't wearing these things. You're in my apartment, get used to it. Okay, so we got some big stuff coming up. First off, I have my first audition coming up for grad school. That wasn't just talk. I've been saying that I'm gonna go into grad school. I'm not lying about that. That is definitely happening. Yeah, I have my first audition in about a month or so. It'll be early February. I know because I just got an email about it, which I was kind of waiting for. Part of me was just kind of expecting like to get no emails from anyone and just sort of like just let it pass, and then I just go another year without grad school, which is fine because I've been learning a lot on my own. But I'm also really ready to get started. But yeah, no, that's pretty exciting. So like, what's my game plan for that? I feel pretty prepared with some pieces. I know that the audition requirements for like any school for getting a master's degree, you need like a legit Baroque piece, like probably a Bach suite. I'm not gonna have a whole suite ready. I'm gonna have a fugue ready, and I'll probably have an adagio and fugue, but I feel like a fugue is enough. That's like, especially like I've been working on it for so long, it's gonna be so well memorized. I feel like that'll be okay. That's the one that I actually am least concerned with. The other thing you need is a classical piece, which the only big classical piece I even have like somewhat under my fingers right now is the Mozart variations. I haven't played that in months, so this next month is gonna be all about the Mozart variations and getting that up to snuff again. So yeah, I'm gonna start practicing that like every day. And the last thing is like your romantic / moderny, whatever, like usually like a Ponce Sonata or like the Jose Sonata or something like that. I have the Morel, which usually isn't on like the lists, but I'm pretty sure that's like regarded. It's like a pretty legit piece, so it's fine. It's like that would be competition rep. Specifically the first movement of that, I'm probably gonna get that as polished as I possibly can, and then the second movement, like at least just try to get it like super memorized because it's still a little shaky. And then the third movement, that's memorized. It's just really hard and like risky to play. But I think the first movement, I have it really well memorized, and I can do the most with it. If the professor were to like ask for one movement, I'd be like, I'll play the first movement for you. So I think those three pieces are going to be my focus, and then also like a few others, like the rest of the Morel Sonatina I'm going to have. I want to be able to perform that entire thing if I want to. And then, you know, the adagios on the other side. I haven't really played the presto in a while. There's no way I'm going to get the presto up to snuff by then. I might ask the professor about it for like advice, because I honestly have no idea how to get it better. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit for that. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty interesting. This should be 1 out of like 3-ish auditions that I'll do. Maybe 4. The deadlines haven't passed yet because it's already like January. Yeah. It'll be like 3 or 4 auditions in total. So, you know, that's fun. Yeah, we'll see which school has me. We'll see who has me, and that's where we'll go. The lease on this apartment, it's ending in like 6 months, and that'll be about time to move. So, boom. We're gonna be moving. All right, well, anything else about that? I don't think so. How am I feeling about it? I'm sure I'm gonna get like super nervous like in the moment, but right now I feel okay. I'm gonna do a lot of practice performances. I might like invite people on to like perform all my audition rep for them, and I'll like film it, and that'll be like some practice logs. We'll see. I'll need a little bit to get that Mozart variations back up. Yeah, what does that mean for 997? I'll still work on it a bit, but I might not work on anything else other than that right now, just until auditions are done. And then, man, when auditions are done, I might just like get rid of everything. Trade out the Morel for like a Ponce Sonata or something. Just start over. That would be interesting. I feel like I've been working on the same rep. Well, I have been working on the same rep like this entire time, which is kind of crazy. I've made a lot of progress though. I think there is something to sticking with your pieces for like a couple of years. If you've never done that, just get like really familiar with it, because I do feel like I know those pieces really well. So I'm not nervous about like memory slips or anything like that, which is good. That's a good place to be. I think maybe we could take this time to answer some comment questions. Well, let's go into this comment. This is a pretty long one. This one is from Jimmy Izzy 6283. How's it going, friend of the channel? You said a couple things. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got. I've always liked your cow picture. Did your mom paint that? Is that an insult? Like, ooh, did your mother paint that? I got that from a clue from other videos. Yeah, my mom painted that. Pretty much any painting that's in my house, my mom did. You said, I suck at guitar, but I've been improving a lot the past few years, but I theorized that to be the best guitar player, you have to be an athlete. Yeah, dude, dang right you gotta be an athlete. Come on now. You gotta be hitting the gym if you want to play guitar better. He said, probably not necessarily true. I recommend stopping ingesting garbage. Are you talking about my protein Pop-Tarts and my, maybe alcohol? I don't know. Does that count as garbage? 2 rules. If God made it, you can eat it. If man made it, stay away. I want to poke a hole in that. There's a hole somewhere to be poked. I don't really subscribe to that personally. Like, I enjoy a lot of man-made things that I ingest, and like, I'm assuming you're talking about processing. I'm not like paleo or anything like that, which is funny too, because I've seen a lot of you guys recommend like these kind of like extreme diets, like carnivore or like keto. I don't think anyone's mentioned keto directly, or vegan, but like these are all like kind of extreme diets, right? Where you're cutting out entire food groups. And some of you might be upset by me calling carnivore extreme. But yeah, no, I feel like people talk about the carnivore diet like it's just this easy thing to follow. You're only eating meat, the most expensive grocery that you buy. What restaurant can you go to that is only going to serve you meat with like no other extra processing that involves like plants or anything like that? It seems really extreme. It seems really hard to follow. Like, you don't crave like sweets at all. Like, you don't want like a piece of cake every once in a while, or a protein Pop-Tart. That's what I mean. Like, I don't really care about the processing of the food that I eat, as long as it's 1 gram of protein per 10 calories, and if I can do that for all of the food that I eat, so even if I'm eating like 2,500 calories a day, that's 250 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein, sure, but it's satiating and it makes you full. And fiber too. Fiber does a lot, which I saw a comment, I think, from Hot Butterwell, who said there is no like human dietary requirement for fiber. I don't know that to be true because I'm not a nutritionist. I don't really know. But what I do know is that when I eat more fiber, I tend to eat less food in general, or less calories in general. So I'm gonna eat as much fiber as I can. For example, like if you take some corn tortillas, like I can eat an entire package of corn tortillas, and like that's easy. Like I can eat that with some like chicken and rice. Boom, I'm eating that. They got a lot in them too. They're like 150 calories each. But I get those fiber tortillas. It's like 10 grams of fiber per or something like that. After I eat 3 of them and like a Diet Coke, all pretty man-made stuff, but I'm like full after that. I'm with some chicken or something, you know, and that's like a nice low-calorie meal where I'm not like starving and hating myself. Imagine you were a god living on a mountainside and your food is brought to you by virgin blondes. What? What if they bring you like processed food? I mean, they're just people. They're just people bringing you food. I don't know the personal lives of like the servers of restaurants that I go to, like, but they bring me any food I ask for. I don't know, like, what does that mean? That's how you'll become a god on the guitar. Lots of good natural foods with lots of protein and animal fats. I think what will make you a god on guitar is like dedicated technique practice, lots of time working with rep, consistency, keeping things fresh, working on many different things, all kinds of finger combinations, doing that kind of stuff. Looking at the greats, the other guitar gods, seeing how they got there. I don't really hear them talking about like nutrition that much. Most importantly for your guitar progress, I recommend drumstick practice. We're not talking about chicken drumsticks, are we? I made good progress since I started drumstick practice. There are many reasons for this. It involves larger fundamental arm muscle groups, and I believe helps with myelination of nerves up and down the arms. It connects both arms in a way that guitar practice does not alone do. I think drumstick practice would be a really interesting thing to do, wouldn't it? Because I've literally never, ever done that. And I know if I held some drumsticks, I would be like absolutely awful. That's kind of a part of music that's a sort of a mystery to me, like doing complex rhythms and stuff on like drums. Because you always, like, I've met percussionists, like especially in college, and they can just bang out like polyrhythms. Like they just have them all sort of in their head already. Not that I think like being able to bang out polyrhythms is like particularly helpful for the music that we play. Like I would imagine that being able to like drum really well probably helps you to some degree. Yeah, so that's interesting. I actually read that comment earlier, and I kind of got the feeling of like, I have never tried that. I like to be a versatile musician, but I just can't drum or do percussion at all. This is not going to be a gateway into doing tappy guitar like Marcin, though. Don't you dare think that. He said, I feel kind of silly saying these because you are a much better guitar player than I am. Oh, but I've been wanting to share these tips for a while now. Well, they're shared. And I mean, my tips along with that, I don't know if nutrition has like a whole lot to do with it. As long as you're not like sick all the time from the food that you're eating, like you should be okay, I think. I know that processing is like scary to us, but processing alone isn't really a bad thing. The only thing that I think is bad about processing is that it might make food like easier to eat and like it strips the fiber away from food. Therefore, you can eat more of it, which like if you eat too much food, it's like not that great for you. But I mean, if you're eating processed food that like meets all of your like vitamin and mineral needs and like protein and like fats and carbs, and you're eating just like everything kind of balanced, and also you're not like sick, I think you should be fine. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am personally. I do like your drumstick advice. I honestly might do that, the drumstick advice, at some point. Maybe I'll do that over the summer for like just a summer and just practice drums for like 30 minutes a day or something like that, because I do agree that that would probably help with some stuff. But of course, it is also important to practice like those rhythms with your fingers too. That's what's driving classical guitar. Like you need to have a really strong command over your right hand, as it is sort of the engine of everything that we play. Without a right hand, there's no sound coming out. If you make those rhythms really tight, even though it is small muscles, you know, they'll still come out tight. You'll have to practice the big muscles. It's just like a different skill. But I mean, just like overall rhythmic skill, that's important. Like we are musicians after all. So like I don't see why we shouldn't be able to play with drumsticks, or at least like drum with our hands. Like I'm sure if I drum with my hands right now, I'll just look like a doofus probably. Like my timing will be all off. Like, can I even do like 16th notes? Like, not even. Like, I should be able to do that, right? That's, like, I'm a musician. Like, why can't I... Like, it's like all uneven. So yeah, that might be something to practice. All right, here's what we're doing. I'm gonna practice now. I might go on a walk first, but I am gonna practice. I have to start teaching in like an hour and a half or so. I might go on like a 30-minute walk. I have to wake up early tomorrow, so I'm going to film my practice then. So I'll get like a practice session in between now and then, and I'll play some stuff for you. It'll be my audition rep. And yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Okay. I know I said I was going to play audition rep, but I think what I'm actually going to do is just play what I have of BWV 997 so far. I'm going to try to make it to that first major section. I'm going to play it real slow. Hey, no, we're there. Alright, so, you might notice I'm playing a lot with, like, the articulation of certain things. And, of course, like, where it is now, like, I'm definitely most comfortable. Should I do, like, a speed round with, maybe the beginning? So... Oh, where are we? And then it falls apart there. But pretty cool. That's going to be like the speed that I like to play it at. No faster than that though. Maybe even a tad slower, because there's so much stuff that you can do with everything, and like if you go too fast, it's just way too much. Okay, anyways, we can wrap it up here. Let's go ahead and make our way to the outro. Hey, well, you know, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe, leave a like. Hey, want some guitar lessons? I offer guitar lessons. Email in the description if you're interested in that. And of course, head on down over to Rootin's Delight, pick yourself up some merch. And yeah, you know, thanks for stopping by the old practice log here. Next time, I'll play some stuff that I'm going to play in the audition. I think I'm going to go through the Soar Mozart variations like a page a day for the next week or so. And just like fix all the stuff I've been meaning to fix. So that'll be cool. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I'll see you in the next one.